I found these really neat oval mirrors on the side of the road after a citywide like yard sale event, and so I had to pick them up and make them look beautiful again and resell them. So stay tuned to see what I did. First things first, I had to give them a quick sand. So I just took, I can't even remember the grit of sandpaper. It's just like a rough grit sandpaper, and just gave them a really quick sand down just to make it to where the paint I'm going to paint them with would actually stick and not like peel off and look, crummy later on. So just giving them a really quick sanding so that that paint will stick. This is just a primer coat, and I just did one layer of this primer coat. It was just because this wood was kind of a darker color, and I was afraid because of the color you're getting ready to see that I decided to paint this. I was afraid that that darker wood would show through, and I didn't have enough of the paint to do two coats, so I thought I would just go ahead and do a primer coat since I had the primer paint anyway, just so I could save myself from having to run to the store and try to find that same paint color again. You saw the paint color there. This is just a paint I had left over from another project from a really long time ago. I cannot remember when I actually bought this paint, but I love this color. Teal is one of my absolute favorite colors. And so obviously I was like, I have to paint these teal. And so I just took this leftover paint, and it was just enough to finish these up, and I have just a tad more. It would have to be an awful small project to be able to use it. So basically, I just have a little bit of paint to do something with later on. But I love this color, and I was happy with painting this, and one coat was enough to cover it, so that made me really happy. Like I said, I found these on the side of the road, and they must have been stored in like a garage or something because they were really dirty. The first thing I needed to do was take off this adhesive tape, and it's actually what was holding these mirrors onto the wooden frame before. And so I had to take those off. Well, as I was peeling off that tape, it was trying to peel off the reflective material on the back, so I had to kind of be careful not to pull off it all the way off, and kind of I rolled it over, if that makes sense. But yeah, so basically I was just kind of ripping it, and then if it wouldn't come all the way off, I would kind of tuck it and stick it to itself, just because I didn't want to ruin the mirror part of the mirror, obviously, because that's what it is. Um, so yeah, I was just doing that, and then I was flipping it over and spraying it with some Windex, which I was surprised I even had Windex in the house, but I did, and giving it a good scrub because it was really dirty from wherever they had stored it. Good old duct tape.
Oh, where you was arching your back? Yeah.
I am working on painting the inside ring of these frames because the reflection of the mirror was showing the dark color, so I'm going to paint the rings, and then I have to figure out and brainstorm and figure out a way to hold the picture or the glass in the frame, because the tape just wasn't quite working for me personally. I don't like it. I don't like the look of it, and I don't like how it was working. So that's what I'm working on right now. So I actually took a day and thought about what I wanted to do and how I wanted to get this mirror to stay inside of the frame. And it just dawned on me that we had caulking, and caulking would adhere the mirror to the frame. And so I just put a bead of caulking around the frame, and then I placed the mirror in, and then I would fill in the gaps around the mirror with some more caulking, and then I just smoothed it with my finger. Now this caulking, it went on white, as you can see, but it will actually dry clear. So once it's all said and done, you won't even see it. It'll just be a clear thing holding the mirror in, basically. And so I was really happy with how it turned out. So you guys are probably dying to know how much I sold these for. $30. Just a little bit of paint, a little elbow grease, and I made $30 profit because everything I had was leftover materials from other projects.